Today I have something very special for you. First of all, we are on a roof. It's awesome. The San Francisco Symphony is in town. My friend Jake Nissly, principal percussionist of the San Francisco Symphony, is here. Thank you for being here, Jake. Okay, I'll tell you a story. When I was in high school, I was studying with a member of the Detroit Symphony, and I was learning all about beautiful round sounds and resonant strokes and how you're supposed to let the stick bounce off the drum back to you. And I was learning about how to let my hand get out of the way of the stick. And then they put me in marching band. I had a snare drum, I had it on my back, I had to walk around. They were teaching us to play strokes like this, bam! And I was like, I have been learning the complete opposite. So as a dumb rebel, I was like, so teacher, you know, I've been learning this other thing, so I'm gonna play that way. And he was like, no, you're not. I have wondered why people do drum corps. Honestly, I don't really get it. I don't understand exactly what the draw is. So I wanted to bring Jake here and basically be like, dude, what is going on with drum corps? Should people do it? How will it help? Is it gonna ruin your stroke? First of all, when were you in drum corps and which drum corps was it?
I marched 4 years of high school. I was in the drum line at Northwestern for 2 years. I marched DCI in 1998 with the Dubuque Colts.
Did you have a good time doing it? Was it fun?
I hated it. I could ask my parents, this is pre-cell phone days, calling from payphones every few days. In retrospect, I had no idea how to practice. So if there was one thing I really gleaned from that summer, it was how to be a little more tenacious with your practicing, how to not give up after one or two tries or not be complacent with something being mediocre. You know, that was one of the quotes that was yelled at us a lot that summer, is that we're not going to settle for mediocrity. I got really good really fast, and I think part of it that you were touching on is I wasn't held to their standard every day. I wasn't being forced to play like that, which they certainly were playing like that. It was definitely, you know, the phrase through the drum was heard all the time. And I think we actually use that phrase too, but it means something very different. You know, you're sort of aiming, when we think about it, at least me, with a slow bass drum stroke, I'm thinking about, you know, pushing the sound through to the back head so it's got a big blossom to the sound. This, with the bulletproof vest Kevlar heads, you're talking about down, down, down.
So the stroke is you throw the stick down and you tense up your hand around the stick and you just like hold it down?
At least in the Colts, the way that they were teaching it, and I know I've seen other corps, the varieties of this or these, you know, it's mostly just wrist. And so it's really completely the opposite of the way I play. You know, it's really hardcore, you know, uniformity is very important here. The way that you rehearse, you're getting screamed at a lot. You know, I had a shoe thrown at me a few times that summer. And just, you know, profanity that wouldn't fly today.
Okay, so you think it's gotten better since then?
So yeah, the last couple of years out in California, you know, in the Bay Area, there's the Blue Devils and the Santa Clara Vanguard, two of the most renowned corps every year. I've been pretty blown away with the level where music is now an equal pillar. There's a lot more emphasis on phrase, on line, on getting the audience to lean in and listen to something soft. You know, I knew Pratt and Wilcoxon when I was a ninth grader, but I did not know some of this hybrid rudiment stuff. And so a lot of what I got out of that summer, you know, I really got my hands together, and I wasn't in it long enough to do any permanent counterintuitive damage to the way I was playing. You know, I learned how to practice, had a really good tan that summer.
You actually learn how to practice? What does that mean?
They taught me both how to be persistent with your practicing, but also how to dig really deep into 4 bars of music. You know, kind of the stuff that really is analogous to what we do when we're practicing excerpts, at least when you're exploring them for the first time or coming up with a variety of ways to do things. The part, at least for me, where it sort of splintered off is that there was really only one way to do things in this, and it was however it was being dictated from someone who wasn't even playing. The good, bad in drum corps, at least when it was dirty or clean, is that roll clean? How clean can we get this? You know what I mean? And we use those terms some if we're talking about a Delacluse etude, but again, I think it's used slightly differently. There, it's all or nothing sort of technical prowess, cleanliness, where with us, we sort of use it that way, but it's also one of many things that is going to make a final product better, whereas there I felt like maybe a more objective style of music making.
So if you're a future orchestra musician thinking about drum corps next summer, you're, you know, 16, 17, 18, should you do it?
I don't see any reason not to. Like I said, I've been very encouraged the direction in which I've seen these indoor drumline shows go, which is not just how many notes and how fast and how clean.
Cool. So Jake, you are teaching. When should students start preparing for their auditions for San Francisco Conservatory?
Yeah, as of this year, my colleague Ed Steffen and I are now the co-chairs of the San Francisco Conservatory Music Percussion Department, and our longtime colleague Jack Van Giem is also still teaching with us.
Sounds like a perfect, ideal situation, especially for orchestra musicians. If I were looking at colleges, I would definitely go study with you.
Well, thanks, Rob.
All right. Thanks guys for watching. If you like this video, hit the like below, subscribe to the channel. I'm planning out a bunch of different interviews with orchestral players at Carnegie Hall and different players at the Met. I'm looking forward to answering your questions. If there's somebody you want to see, let me know in the comments below. Let me know what question you would ask them. If you could ask your dream orchestral player, your idol, what would you ask them and who is it? Let me know in the comments, and I will see you guys in the next video.